All right, let's talk about something that can literally make or break a job: leadership. We're going to dig into the two fundamentally different paths a leader can take: the path of the manipulator versus the path of the true mentor.
So, let's just start with a question that I bet almost all of you have asked at some point. Why is it that some leaders make you want to walk through walls for them, while others just, make you want to update your resume? The answer isn't just about personality. It's about a choice.
And that choice is really like a fork in the road. Every single person in a leadership position stands at this junction, and they have to decide whether they're going to build loyalty or they're going to manipulate. So what's the one thing that decides which path they go down?
Well, it boils down to one single powerful thing: intent. Right? Is the leader's core goal to control and exploit people for their own personal gain? That's manipulative intent. Or is their goal to inspire and empower the whole team so that everyone succeeds together? That's loyal intent. This one little difference changes absolutely everything that comes after.
And you can see how those two different intentions create two totally different types of leaders. Look, the manipulator, they're playing the short game. They use deception and secrecy to get you to comply right now. But the loyal leader, they are playing the long game. They get that being transparent and empathetic, well, that's an investment that pays off with real, lasting engagement from their team. So let's take a walk down that first, darker path. Let's open up the manipulator's playbook and see exactly what kind of tactics they use to keep everyone under their thumb. And I'm willing to bet a lot of this looks painfully familiar. We're talking about things like using guilt or fear to get what they want. They'll withhold key information just to keep you off balance, or even pit coworkers against each other so no one can team up against them. It's a whole system where every single move is designed to prop up the leader's ego, not to actually help the team succeed. Okay, but thank goodness there is another way. So let's flip it and look at the second path. This one is all about building a team up, not tearing it apart. This is the loyal leader's approach. And wow, the difference is just night and day, isn't it? Instead of deception, you get honesty and integrity. Instead of blaming everyone, you get a leader who actually protects their team. They invest in their people, they give them real ownership, and maybe most importantly, they take the hit when things go wrong. Every one of these actions is like a deposit into a bank account of trust, and that trust is the ultimate currency of great leadership. So, what happens to a team that's stuck on that first path, the manipulative one? Well, those tactics have a direct, almost chemical, corrosive effect on the one thing a team cannot survive without: trust. And here's the scary part: trust doesn't just disappear. It unravels in this predictable downward spiral. It starts small, with the leader spinning the truth. Then you start to see favoritism, broken promises, and that just poisons the well. Soon enough, you've got a full-blown culture of fear where nobody wants to admit a mistake. And the final destination? Trust is completely gone. Collaboration stops, and everybody's just watching their own back. So this brings us to the end of the line for both of these paths. What are the real long-term consequences for a company that lets this stuff happen? Let's not sugarcoat this. The final price tag for manipulation is, quite simply, organizational ruin. We're not just talking about a few grumpy employees. We're talking about a total system failure. And that ruin has a very real cost. You get a brain drain because your best people are the first to leave. Innovation just dies because no one is willing to take a risk. And eventually, all those internal problems spill out and become public scandals that wreck the company's reputation. This all leads to financial trouble because a bad culture is always, always a predictor of a struggling business. And maybe the worst part, the company's ethics just completely erode. And hey, this isn't just a theory. The source material for this explainer points out that this is what leads to massive ethical failures. Just think about the huge scandals at places like Arthur Andersen or Wells Fargo. In both cases, a culture of deception that started at the top led to a full-blown company-wide disaster. That's the real-world cost. So the two final destinations really couldn't be more different. The manipulative path ends in a toxic culture of fear, high turnover, and just decay. But the loyal path, that builds a strong culture of respect, keeps its best people, and leads to innovation and deep, genuine loyalty. It is literally a choice between growth and ruin. So that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. I want you to take a hard look at your own workplace, your own team, maybe even your own leadership style, and ask yourself, which path are you on?